Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. Excited to have you tuning in and joining us today. We have a great conversation lined up. We're going to be talking about leadership and how to embrace that leadership within us so that we can really show up powerfully in our life. We've had a theme this month of really stepping forward, being seen, shining in our life, echoing what matters to us from the inside out. So our experts today are going to help us discover how to tap into our dreams, tap into our passions, and be able to bring that forward in a really powerful way. So an amazing conversation we're going to have today. So honored to have you all joining us and having our guests here today as well. But I want you to be able to get the most out of our time together today, because I honor that you said yes to you, that you leaned in to being part of our program today, to letting us walk beside you and support you. So I want to invite you to be fully present. Resist the urge to do multitask and do other things. Really be fully present, mind, body, soul, and spirit, so that you can receive everything that's here for you today. Because it is not an accident that you have tuned in. That means there is something here for you. And I want you to get everything that will support you on your journey. So welcome, welcome. I've been thinking a lot about showing up, being seen, stepping into that spotlight. In fact, we just released our quarterly magazine. It was just released yesterday on Monday, the 16th, and it's called Summer Star. And on the front of the cover, we have this beautiful star that has all these light bulbs in it, and it's on the stage with the red, I was thinking there's a red carpet. It's on the stage. There are these beautiful red curtains draping behind it, and it's almost like this, ta-da! And I feel like it's this opportunity, a reminder that we can show up exactly with who we are, stepping forward, shining, leaning in to what matters most to us. And so I want you to just take a moment today and think about, are you choosing to do that? Sometimes we get busy, we get caught up in the day-to-day things, so we're reacting and we're just continuing to do the same things we've always done, sometimes hoping for different results. And I want to encourage you to be purposeful in what you say yes to and what you're saying no to, what you're putting on your plate, what you're taking off your plate, that you're building in time to stop, pause, and listen to what is speaking on your heart, what is most important to you, and are you taking steps to bring that forward? Are you purposely and proactively building that into your life? And it's important to remember to stop and check in every once in a while and make sure the activities that you're doing, the way you're spending your time and energy and in resources is in alignment with those things that matter most to you. That's a way that we can shine. We want to have our actions, how we're being, match what matters to us, and purposely echoing that out. And sometimes we can get a little caught up in reactive states versus being proactive and purposely choosing our response, choosing to move forward, the things that matter most to you. So as we take this moment to connect in, I invite you to tune in fully present, ready to receive. In fact, excited to receive everything that is here for you. It's been lovingly prepared to serve and support you. And in fact, we were having a brief conversation behind the scenes, and the experts were feeling into the questions and things that we prepared for the show, and came to the conclusion that we're following our heart. We're going to lead where we're guided to serve and support you. So I want you to plug into that, feel that, and know that. Those of you who are driving, please stay safe, both hands on the wheels, no texting and driving, inwardly tuning in. Those of you who are able to, I invite you to put both feet on the floor. Feel it supporting you. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, bringing all of you in, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Expanding your belly, see how big you can make it. Out through your mouth, like through a straw. Keep breathing. This is a way to become present, to lower stress levels, lower cortisol levels, be fully ready to receive. So in this space, as you're pausing and breathing, listening, feeling that heartbeat under your hand, pulling all of you in, what is it that you need today? What is it that will encourage you, empower you, uplift you, helping you move forward on the things that matter most to you so you can shine as that star that you are? Bring your gifts forward. What is it that you need? Just receive that information. It can come in all different ways. Shapes, sounds, songs, visuals, words, a knowing. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? Because you have choice in this. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? Beautiful. Breathe that in. Come back into the room, fully present, eyes open, and I invite you to write that information down. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? Let's keep it top of mind. It is so easy to get distracted, to forget, to move on to the next thing and miss the opportunity right in front of you, the answer right in front of you. And be open to being surprised how it may come. It may come in an unexpected way, shape, or form. Be excited to see how that need will be met and that you will lean in, say yes, and receive everything that will support you on your journey. Let's breathe that in. Wonderful. Great. And I'm going to go around our virtual room here and just touch in with our experts heart to heart when we stopped and paused for a moment, just what was laid on their heart. And Bernard, I would love for you to start. Do you mind sharing just 15, 30 seconds, something that was laid on your heart when we stopped and paused and listened for a moment?
Well, Rebecca, thanks so much. The thing, very simply, that was on my mind is to be a resource and to be seen as a resource by those who are listening, to add value to the kinds of perspectives they have with regard to showing up and being seen, and to give what I can to the listeners that would be useful in helping them, in fact, show up and be seen and use a bit of what I may be able to bring to help that process.
Beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that and just love your heart and willingness to serve and support and pour into others. Thank you for sharing and being here today.
Absolutely.
Jennifer, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
Yeah, also thank you for having me. Excited to be here. Really, the idea of creating space, being mindful, the clutter, also just really connecting to what you were saying. Just like this morning, I went for a hike in the redwoods, and yesterday I let myself take a nap at like 3 p.m. And I feel like as doers, and we are purpose driven, but you get on your mission and can be so driven towards it. So I was just feeling really validated in those choices, and like, okay, so what was laid on my heart was like, yes, more of that, like creating more space, being mindful, what's occupying your headspace, what's occupying your environment, what's occupying your schedule. So feeling just more of that yes to more of that is what was coming up for me. So
beautiful. I love that. And I could feel this resonance when you were saying walking in the redwoods and taking the nap and, really honoring what is being spoken to your heart and spirit too, that that is also so valuable. The doing is valuable and needed, but also kind of that nourishing and listening to what we need too is so important, and making room in the schedule, because it's easy to just fill. Beautiful. Thank you. Well, honored to have you here today, and I appreciate your share. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And listeners, as we get ready to go to our first commercial break here, I invite you to stay present. As you hear those 2 minutes of commercials playing in the background, resist the urge to run off and cross things off the to-do list. I'm going to invite you to stay present and receive what's being spoken to your heart. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? And when we come back, we look forward to continuing the conversation and pouring beautiful wisdom and support into your heart and spirit. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Voice America Women. Your passion starts here.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
If you've always wanted to take the lead in your life, but you don't believe you are a leader, then it's time to change that mindset. Leadership expert Linda Patton will help you discover the powerful leader that lives within and teach you the leadership skills that will transform your business and your life. Stepping into your leadership brings reality to your vision, and leadership can be learned. Find out more on Leadership Stars every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Women's Channel.
These days, everyone is looking for information on staying young, healthy, and fit. The Voice America Health and Wellness Network is here to help you on your quest to better health and a better you. We talk about everything from diet, fitness, and aging to substance abuse, personal growth, mental health, and much more. Learn from our experts who cover health and wellness from traditional and holistic perspectives. Tune in to the Voice America Health and Wellness Network. Healthy living starts here.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit Facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that you gave yourself that opportunity to stop, pause, breathe and listen. What a gift that can be in our busyness of lives, that we're just going from one thing to another, to remember to stop, pause, and listen can make such a powerful impact in our lives. So I hope that you enjoyed that. We'll have moments throughout the show where you get to build those listening, pausing, processing muscles. And the goal is that by the end of the show, by allowing those moments of pausing, it actually gives you an opportunity to integrate what is being shared with you and spoken into your heart, spoken into your spirit, spoken into your mind, that you're getting to process that and receive it. So it's actually becoming part of you as you go back out into the world instead of going on the to-do list. So I hope that you take advantage of those moments as we share those with you. Beautiful. And I wanted to introduce one of our amazing guests. You got to hear from her on a heart level in our opening segment when we stopped and listened to the heart for a moment. But I wanted you to know a little bit more about Jennifer's background. So Jennifer Covington is a powerful business expert who she's worked with Fortune 500 companies, MGM Studios, and 20th Century Fox, and has spent the last 3 years in Ecuador teaching small business development skills. She is absolutely passionate. I know you're going to hear this as she shares with you. She's passionate about helping you turn your passions into profit so that you can make a positive difference in the world. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Jennifer Covington to the show. Welcome!
Woo! Woo! Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. And thank you for cheering with me. I love that.
Yeah, that was a rally cry. I had to...
Wonderful. Well, I always like to start our conversation with why. Why is this work of helping people turn their passions into profit and tying that into making a positive difference in the world? Why does that matter so much to you?
Well, it really was, my journey, as you touched on, just even in that intro, I went from corporate to working in a developing country, and I was working with orphan youth and single moms in business development and life skills. So I was tying together my life coaching background and corporate training and business training to make a positive impact on people's lives as a means of sustainability. And so, the way they're making a livelihood for themselves because they didn't have another option. And so having gone through that experience, I became really lit up and dedicated to doing that kind of work, and then came across other people like coaches and healers and the do-gooders of the world, the artists, creatives, who historically have been the people who struggle. The starving artist is such a trope, but yet they are the true healers and beauty makers and edifiers of the world. And yes. So I know how fulfilling it is to do work that matters to you. And then I have a big heart, but then I also have that practical, strategic side. So I wanted to bring those gifts to the artists and the healers and the coaches because they're brilliant at what they do, but sometimes need the grounding or the strategies or the structures to then be profitable. And really my ulterior motive is that those are the people who I want to be successful in the world. I want the healers to be the policymakers. I want the artists to be really well compensated and the creative entrepreneurs to be doing well because that's the kind of world I want to live in. And so that's why it's important to me.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And I could just feel and see that picture of what you're building, what you're creating, and how you can see by supporting them in this way, you're helping create the world that you want to live in. And I just think that's so powerful, so positive, and so needed. So I appreciate you sharing that and letting us, see into your heart a little bit about why you do what you do and what you do. So thank you. Absolutely. I appreciate that. Talking about supporting this group that you want to see be so successful and really shine and be compensated really well so they can shine in the world so powerfully and on an ongoing way, because sustainability is so important. Oh, looking at all of that and tapping into your rich set of skills to help people in this practical and profound way, what would you say is the best way to authentically attract clients as they're building this profitable business?
Yeah, well, really how you asked me, why do this work in the first place? To me, that is really the first question that one must ask themselves when creating what I call a soul-centered business, one that really is coming from who you are. And I love listening to your radio show. I'm so honored to be here because I listen to it, and anytime I listen to you, I'm like, we're totally twin flames, like, how you tie in heart and purpose with business. Even, you have mindful commercial breaks and your guests connect with their heart first and then we do credentials second. All of that I know is really intentional, and it's so on point with just how I feel too. But, when you know why you're up to what you're up to, then your bottom line is really about heart. And of course you do need to make money and you do need to have it be sustainable, but I have had people come into my practice who are earning 6 and 7 figures, but they didn't check in with their heart and soul, and so then they're dissatisfied thinking that the number was all they had to reach. And so especially for, again, these heart-centered creatives, when you know why you're up to what you're up to, then that's how you can have your successful, profitable business also feel fun and fulfilling. And I really say that's the first step. And then, of course, when you're connected, and there are practical pieces to it, but that's how you become client attractive as well. Because when you're able to really sell and market authentically, then your people who are divinely contracted to work with you anyway are really, really resonating with you. And then you're able to show up in your work as you. You're not putting on a mask or you're not putting on a front. It's just who you are, and it makes work really fun and fulfilling.
Beautiful. So you covered so much powerful information there. I'm just going to, no, it's great. It's great. I'm going to just share a little bit of it again. I want to make sure everybody heard what you shared, and how that starting place is really starting with the why. Why you do what you do, and making sure that you're checking in with that. And yes, you want to have a profitable structure and make sure you're doing those things, but it sounds like the starting place is really tapping into your why and understanding that. And then it sounds like we want to make sure that we are being authentic. We're honoring that why and how we're showing up. And as you were sharing, I had a question pop into my mind around this. And so I so resonate with this, understanding your why and showing up authentically. Do you think it's important, or what is your advice around sharing that why with your potential clients, or as part of how you're bringing things to the world? I was curious your thoughts around that.
Yes, definitely. I don't know about before, but definitely in this day and age where there's social media, people are used to seeing into your life, into your world. Transparency is what we're all up for. We want to see that. Because I feel like the older model was like, be very buttoned up, and to be quotey fingers professional was to be, like the guru on the mount that's untouchable and flawless. And I think now, more than ever, we like transparency, authenticity, and even Simon Sinek, who talks about Start With Why, I believe that's the name of his book, Start With Why, says people, don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And so it even makes good practical marketing sense to share your why and what you're up to. I know that I invest my money big and small. It just might be a bracelet, but if it's a bracelet where they give money back to a charity or they're super mission driven, that is where I invest my time and my money, because I care about why the company or the organization is doing what they're doing. And so again, you'll find that you won't have nightmare clients or nightmare customers, because you're all on the same page about why you're up to what you're up to. And when I check in with my clients, we all have similar whys. They mirror one another, because on that energetic level, we're all up to similar things. We want people to share their gifts, not waste their time, not waste their magic. It's a tone of that, across the board for myself and my clients, for example. So super important to be transparent about your why.
No, I love that. And I know that's one of the questions I get so often. And when I look back in time and 5-10 years ago, I wasn't asked that question so much. But now as I fast forward, sometimes people just say, why do you do this? I don't understand. And they really want to know. And that helps them. I don't know if it's a container that helps them create, but they really appreciate understanding the why behind what's being created and brought to the world. So I love that. It sounds like you're absolutely seeing that too, and finding that there's great value as well as practical marketing business sense to share that out as well. Kind of continuing in this conversation, one of the things I hear a lot in the business world and the marketing world and the coaching world is, finding your niche. So we've talked about lining up your why in your business and having that resonate. What would you share about creating this soul-centered way to be in your business and bring it forward? How does that tie into your niche, or how can people discover that if they're not sure how?
Right. Such a good question, because many of us in business have done like those long, drawn-out niche exercises. And so I've come up with a really fun way how to to figure out your niche in a really natural, authentic way. Because again, I always go back to that because again, these heart-centered healers and creative entrepreneurs are all heart. And if you tell them to do some sleazy marketing thing, their moral compass just won't allow them to do it. And I was that way. I've been in those marketing classes, and it's like, So it's part of my mission to be a voice for those folks. And so in my course, The Soul-Centered Business Creator, I have a module called Your Money-Making Message, because, again, your messaging is important, but we want you to be successful and profitable as well. So I have the Soul-Centered Brand Formula that basically brings out your niche in a way that's natural. You don't have to do a whole bunch of lists or anything. And the formula, the beginning of the formula, is that if you take your story, right, plus your ideal client profile, or take an ideal client avatar, plus your movement, that really will start giving you your money-making message. And from that, your niche will kind of bubble up naturally. Because even if we all said, all of us on the line right now all did the same things, like we're all life coaches, but we each have a unique story. So just taking the story, our story of how we came to do what we do, that'll make us unique, and different people would resonate with something different. Then when we take our ideal client, who we would really best serve and who would really benefit from our solutions, that would be wildly different. So you can already see how we would have like different brands bubbling up, different niches bubbling up. And then our movement is really about what's the energy behind our business, like what are we up for, why are we creating it, what are we going for when we're creating our business. That would be uniquely different. So you can see when you take those three elements, how those three of us would even have very different niches bubble up, different unique brand positioning would start bubbling up. And so then with, further guidance from a business coach, you could really hone in and create your messaging. But that's how you can get a soul-centered niche, because it, again, really starts with you, what you like, who you are, your story, your movement, and then you put it out into the world. And so, of course, it takes more finessing, but that is the beginning of how to create that and identify that.
Beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing some of that formula with us and kind of walking through. Yeah. And I love the language that you're using, that bubble up, and it can be fun. So for those of you who felt like it's heavy and endless lists or that sort of thing, I want you to know that you can really discover this in a beautiful, fun, supported way. So I appreciate that you bring that to the world and walk beside people in that way. And our time is going so quickly, but I know that you prepared an amazing gift for our listeners. And listeners, I'm going to let you know where to find it, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to share a little bit about it, and then I'll let them know how to lean in.
Yes. So again, I keep talking about the healers, the coaches, the creative entrepreneurs. I'll put myself in the mix. We tend to be hands-on, one-on-one practitioners, that kind of thing. And so part of the starving artist conundrum is having to duplicate yourself, or you're trading hours for dollars. And so how do you get past that ceiling, even when you fill your your practice, then that's your ceiling on what you can make. So also leveraging the online space is something that you can do, but sometimes, again, the heart-centered folks feel like it's too disconnected. So what I've created is a Launch Your Soul-Centered Business Online, and it really talks about how to use the internet to leverage your time to connect heart-to-heart with people that otherwise you wouldn't be able to, and then how to also create multiple streams of even income for yourself, because that one-on-one level is one tier that you can offer, but there's other tiers that you can begin to infuse into your business when you utilize the online space. So,
beautiful.
We talk about, how to do a blog, how to do a newsletter, how to create online programs, that kind of thing. So that it's a full training, and it's actually behind the scenes of how I work with my clients, and so that's what I'm making available to your listeners.
Wonderful. What a generous gift. I appreciate that, this full course to help them really launch and create this in a powerful, powerful way. So thank you so much for joining us today and making this valuable gift available. I really appreciate it. And listeners, I want to let you know how to lean in. If you're resonating with Jennifer and what she's sharing and would love to say yes to her free gift, I want to let you know it's a free gift. It's truly a gift she's giving to you. You go to Radio Gifts with an S. .net, so it's a net full of multiple gifts. So Radio Gifts with an S.net. Scroll to today's date, which is July 17th. You'll see Jennifer's picture there, a description of her gift, and you click and say yes. We do have you enter your name and email address so that we can stay in touch, and she's able to as well. Oh, I encourage you to lean into that as we go into our next commercial break. These are 2 minutes for you to pause, breathe, integrate what's being spoken into your heart and spirit, and you can go check out radiogifts.net, peruse the library, say yes to as many gifts as will support you. Just make sure to stay present because we've got more coming up in just 2 minutes.
This is the Voice America Women's Channel, where your success is limitless.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Relationship issues? Anxious? Parenting challenges? No more. Learn to live your best life. Tune into Straight Talk with top therapist, relationship, and anxiety expert Sandra Reish. Learn to transform your challenges into effective solutions. Whether it's relationships, parenting, anxiety, or other traps, Sandra will show you how you can live the life of your dreams. Listen live every Thursday afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Health and Wellness Channel.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog, Press Pass? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective. Plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at vapresspass.com. That's vapresspass.com. VA Press Pass by Voice America. All access, all the time.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation. Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes and looking at radiogifts.net. That's our library that our amazing guests pour into. And part of the reasons we create that library is because I want you to have tools and resources to help you live on purpose and with great purpose. I want you equipped and empowered to do that. And our guests are so generous, they lean into that and make these amazing gifts available so that you can get the same type of connection and contact I have with experts and their tools to support you on the journey. So I hope you enjoyed that library. I encourage you to check it out on a regular basis. We're adding new things every week. And I wanted to continue our conversation. We've been talking about building profitable businesses. We've been talking about tying into your why. And whether you have a business or not, I believe we can tie into how we're living our life by remembering our why and being on purpose with it, being willing to lean in and bring it forward. And our next expert, I'm excited to formally introduce you to him, just has such a rich experience of helping people step into their destiny and really shine powerfully and beautifully in their life. So let me share a little bit about Bernard. So Bernard E. Robinson is a skilled and certified performance improvement management coach. He's the president of the Institute of Human Development for over 35 years. And he has this long history of helping leaders lead, helping us step into our destiny. And he's absolutely passionate about improving lives through effective learning and leadership. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing and powerful Bernard E. Robinson to the show. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. I appreciate it. I am actually happy and jumping just as Jennifer did in my heart.
I feel it. I love it.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely love having you here. And I love to start our conversation so the listeners get to understand a little bit more about your why. I'd love for you to share why helping improve lives through effective learning and leadership. Why is this work personally so important to you?
Well, it's essentially and shortly, all of us, most of us, I would say, if not all of us, were put here on this earth for a purpose. And my premise is simply that most of us, as we are trying to adjudicate this life we live, we're trying to do the best we can and be the best person we can. So part of the work that I've taken on for these last 30-something years is to use a bit of talent that God has provided me to be a guide and a host for others to be served, if you will, and to use whatever talent I have to help them be the best that they can be. My world is a world of consulting with leaders, and so my focus and my work revolves a lot around leaders and building teams and that kind of thing, and speaking and coaching in that light. And so it's akin to a statement that I heard some time ago from a guy named Woodrow Wilson in reading his information. He simply suggests that we were not here to just make a living. That's not what our life is about. Our life is about making a difference. And so however we can do that, I try to make the difference the way I can by living my life and try to support others in doing the same. So we're not here just to make a living. We're here to create and make a life that provides hopefully some value for others as well.
So powerful, here on purpose and to make a difference. Thank you for sharing that. I could feel the grounding, the conviction, the power in that, and it's inspiring and brings great focus to remembering to find our purpose, remembering to feel into it and bring it forward, that it really matters. So thank you for sharing that. I so appreciate it.
Not a problem.
And one of the things I missed listing in your introduction is that you are also a published author. So I would love for you to share a little bit about your book as well, so they know that facet of you too.
Absolutely. I thank you for that opportunity. The book is called Being the Skills of an Effective Leader, Becoming a Leader That Others Want to Follow. And the book is a terrifically nice conversation between myself and the reader. And, and inviting them to consider the kind of leader that they are. Again, this whole focus about being an effective leader. So it invites them in this conversation to consider some things that I've learned that are important for leaders to consider and believe based on the years I've done this. So we have chapters like getting right down to business and getting down to the basics. We have a most important chapter about character. The chapter simply is Character Matters. Then we talk about leadership, which is essentially what's the difference between leadership and management. And we then talk about preparing to get your game face on. And that's kind of where, that's chapter 4, but it really talks about really leading and being in the art of leadership, being in the ring and doing it well. So you want to learn to win and play the game at a high level. And you really have to have a good decision-making skills, if you will. So these are kind of a snapshot of the chapters. The last one probably needing to be mentioned is becoming a lifelong leader that others want to follow. There are a few others. So it's a nice book, but it's a conversation. It even has a chapter that allows a person to do their own. I've created a leadership coaching chapter, chapter 11, where you can carry yourself through the coaching protocol that we use, kind of on your own and in your own way. And then you can call or send me a note and give me a holler as to what you think.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing about that. And as you were listing some of the chapters and some of the things covered, I just felt like it tied in so beautifully to some of the things Jennifer was sharing too. So I love it. I love it when a show comes together like that, and it just weaves together.
They're
so
tied
beautifully.
nicely. In fact, what Jennifer was mentioning about the what, one of the things that I've shared with leaders and have had an opportunity to say again is that people will do a lot of what if they understand why. And you want to get good productivity, help people not only know what to do, but why you want them to do it.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And as we are continuing our conversation here, we open the show talking about shining in our life, really stepping forward. And you opened our deeper conversation here talking about being born on purpose, that we have a purpose here, and that there is, so to me, this ties into like a destiny, a purpose that has that kind of energy and pull to it, and that makes a difference. And so I'd love for you to share a little bit of how can we, whether we're a leader or not, how can we tap into our purpose, tap into our destiny?
Very good. I appreciate it. Well, there are actually some questions there, about 5 questions I would like the listeners to consider. And it's the premise is the same premise that we are all trying to be our best. And so those 5 questions are simply this. What were you created for? If I were to ask each individual to consider, what were you created for? Number 2, what is your destiny? And what do you want it to be? We can't rewrite our destiny if it's in the will of God and if it's akin to our purpose here in life. Number 3, what is holding you back? These are all questions that you can write and consider as you go back after this program and after this conversation and consider. Number 4, what do you need to do to step into your destiny? And number 5, what are you willing to give back to the universe as you take your place in the spotlight everywhere that you show up? So if you're on that magazine and you're the star on that red carpet, what are you willing to give back to the universe? Because it is about not just you. It's about what you bring to the universe that you live in, because we're all connected in that way.
Beautiful.
So
thank you.
That's right. Now, I think those 5 questions are important if one is to embrace the leader within and be a star and to truly feel connected with what they're doing. I appreciate what Jennifer mentioned with regard to really knowing what really brings joy to you. And I have some thoughts about that as well, because I think that's an important piece. I kind of come more on the why side as opposed to, not the why side, the who side more than the why side. But it's my hope that those 5 questions and the thoughts that we're able to share, that allow the listener to fashion ways to improve by creating a vision for themselves, for their future, for the way they want to show up for themselves and, of course, for others. Number 2, I'd hope that they would use those questions to focus on what your efforts need to be or should be to achieve that destiny or to get to that place where you are showing up the way you would like to show up. And then finally, prepare a plan that will enhance your life, and do that so that you fully show up, you fully share, you fully shine as a woman or a man. And the women or men in your life will be impacted positively by the way you show up for others and for yourself. And so it's an important set of thoughts with regard to embracing the leader within and being a star. I also would say that,
and Bernard, I'm so sorry. We're almost out of time here, so I do want to make sure. I know it goes so quickly, but I did want to have you just list those questions again. They're so powerful, and I know can lead to so much transformation in their life. So I wanted you to, if you don't mind, just list those 5 questions again.
Not at all. Absolutely. Number 1, the question was, what were you created for? Number 2, what is your destiny? And what do you want it to be? What is holding you back? What are the thoughts, the emotions, the notions that are holding you back? Number 4, what do you need to do to step into your destiny? What are the steps you need to do? What are the things you need to throw away? What are the things you need to begin to consider that you should throw away, and what are those things you need to begin to grab hold to that allow you to move in the direction that you'd like your life to go? And number 5, what are you willing to give back to the universe as you take your place in the spotlight? You shine, if you will, in my way of saying it, if you help others shine as well. Zig Ziglar put it this way: you can have everything you want in life as long as you work and focus on giving others what they need as well.
Beautiful.
So, and of course, like most of your listeners would know, if you continue to do what you've always done, you usually continue to get what you've always gotten.
Yep. So we have to remember our part of that equation. Exactly.
Yes.
Yep. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for sharing some of your heart with us and a little bit about your powerful book, as well as those 5 profound questions. So listeners, as we get ready to go to our next commercial break, these next 2 minutes, I invite you to pause, breathe, think about what's being spoken to your heart and spirit from what Jennifer and Bernard have shared, and perhaps dig into those 5 questions. And we'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
We're making it easier to listen to the Voice America Talk Radio Network wherever you go. In addition to listening live, you can check out information about your favorite talk show hosts, discover new talk show personalities, add shows to your list of favorites, and listen to all of our show archives on demand, all from your iOS, Amazon Kindle, or Android device. Download it from the Apple App Store, Amazon, or Google Play, and get ready to tune in. The Voice America mobile app, powered by Aircast.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes of pausing, breathing, and integrating. And we have so appreciated you joining us today, leaning into the conversation. I hope that you've gained some great tools that you can add to your toolbox as you go back out into the world, ways that you can bring forward those things that matter most to you. That image of the star on the cover, you showing up, shining, being seen and heard, because the world needs you, your gifts, your talents, your abilities. They have been given to you on purpose. And I believe for such a time as now. So I want to encourage you as you go back out into the world to be willing to share the gift of who you are. And to support you in that, I asked both of our experts behind the scenes, did they have a quick quote, something that they could share with you that you can take with you as you go back out into the world? And they both generously leaned in and said yes. So Bernard, I would love to have your quote.
Very good. It's a repeat, but it's just good to repeat. You and I were not made or simply exist in this life to make a living. You and I were made to make a difference. I might add, not only in your life, but in the lives of others. Not only is it a universal law, to whom much is given, much is expected. So those in your listening audience should understand that your light, and you want to let your light shine like a star, so that it reflects in the life of others.
Beautiful. Yes. Let's breathe that in. Embrace it as we become and step forward and commit to being those stars. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And Jennifer, how about you? What was laid on your heart to bring forward and share with the world?
Yes. What came up for me was the quote by MLK, "Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step." And I always say, choose progress over perfection so that you do get your message and your voice and your work out in the world. I love that we've all been in conversation because I can tell we're all dedicated to using our gifts to edify others and create that positive ripple effect. And so that is really how you do it, is taking the first step.
I love that.
Good deal.
Thank you. Love it. So listeners, take that first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just one step at a time. Be willing to take it, and it's about progress, not perfection. We can release that perfection. It's really about being willing, and I believe that's a really big part of it, being willing. So as you get ready to go back out into the world, I hope this time has recharged you and given you something to carry forward and bring to the world and inspire you to shine a little bit more of who you are out into the world, that you will be willing to do that. That wherever you go, whatever you do, I hope that you are willing to bloom where you are planted and shine. Have a beautiful week, everyone. I look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.